Hello folks, Dick Fairburn here. I want to talk about the National Rifle Association Law Enforcement Division. Now, many of you may not be interested in this, but I know I have a lot of both active and retired law enforcement officers who watch my channel. And there's probably a lot of things about the Law Enforcement Division of the NRA you don't know. And I think it's worthwhile for you to know this history and some of the things they offer you. Now, the National Rifle Association has a long history of supporting military and law enforcement members. Until I became a member of the NRA Board of Directors a few months ago, I didn't really know about some of those important benefits. But I'm going to tell you about them now. The NRA was founded in 1871 with a singular purpose in mind: to train civilian shooters in marksmanship. In the Civil War, the boys in blue shot rather poorly. They needed quite a bit of training to develop marksmanship skills, while the country boys wearing the gray uniforms in the South seemed to be able to shoot better without a lot of training. The North had become industrialized to a larger degree, where the South was still country boys. They grew up with a gun in their hands. So the founders of the NRA saw a need to prepare Americans for possible service in the defense of our nation. They needed to know how to shoot. They wanted to hearken back to the days of our revolution, where we were a nation of riflemen. This soon branched out into competitive shooting for both civilians and military services. Now, in 1960, the NRA Law Enforcement Division was formed to provide training and certification for law enforcement firearms instructors. There was really no standardized way to train or certify the folks who trained our cops. So stick around. I'm going to talk about all the things the NRA Law Enforcement Division does. I'm going to tell all you active law enforcement officers about a very special benefit that you get from NRA membership. It's the best deal in town. I've been an NRA member for about 50 years now, and a few months ago I was elected to the Board of Directors. The committee's assignments I have include both civilian and law enforcement training, the Education and Training Committee for civilians, and the Law Enforcement Assistance Committee for the police side. And I consider it a high honor to serve on both of those committees. When I got involved with the Law Enforcement Assistance Committee, I found out about an important benefit for all law enforcement officers, active or retired, but especially for active law enforcement officers. And this is not as widely known as it deserves to be. As a member of the National Rifle Association, active law enforcement officers automatically qualify for a $35,000 line of duty death benefit. It's automatic. Glenn Hoyer is the head of the law enforcement assistance staff. He periodically checks the Officers Down Memorial page when he sees an officer has been killed in the line of duty in this country. He checks the name against the membership rolls of the NRA. And if they are an NRA member, he contacts the agency for that police officer, sends them a simple verification form, and they will very shortly receive, the beneficiaries will receive a check for $35,000. And that goes a long way to start helping that family put their lives back together. Now, unfortunately, that line of duty death benefit is not available in 3 states, New Mexico, New York, and Washington. I'm not sure why their state statutes interfere with that, but they do. More than $4.4 million has been paid to the beneficiaries of law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty in the United States since 2000. To become a member of the NRA, law enforcement officers only have to pay $20 per year for a membership, which is a discount from the normal $45 per year. So you can get that membership for less than half price. And when you do that, you've got that $35,000 line of duty death benefit. That's a $35,000 life insurance policy for your family for $20 a year. That's the best deal in town. I told that to a young officer who is now the firearms instructor for the department I retired from. And he looked at me and he goes, wow, $35,000 line of duty death for only $20 a month? And I said, no, son, that's $20 a year. Retired law enforcement officers and active duty military personnel also qualify for that $20 annual membership. Now, they don't get the line of duty death benefit, but still, they get a membership in the NRA for $20 a year. I'm going to put up a QR code here. You can scan this with your phone to sign up for that special membership discount. And what you're also doing is joining the nation's, really the first and one of its strongest civil rights organizations. The NRA has always and will always be fighting for your Second Amendment rights. Now, the NRA Law Enforcement Division has two primary missions. First, to train and certify law enforcement firearms instructors. And secondly, to conduct a law enforcement firearms competition program, which furthers that training mission. Because you see a lot of those instructors fine-tune their own shooting skills in the various competition programs that are out there. Since 1960, the NRA has trained more than 60,000 law enforcement firearms instructors, including 11,000 who are still active today. Now, I once held every NRA law enforcement instructor certification that was available. Back then, essentially, handguns, shotguns, and rifles. The ratings have now expanded to include tactical shooting, patrol rifle and precision rifle for snipers, as well as select fire weapons instructor ratings. The competition program includes the original police pistol combat, the old PPC course, which started out with revolvers. But there are now competitive classes in PPC for all types of handguns, including those using optical sights. The PPC course and the national matches have always included shotgun shooting as well. There is a new tactical police competition, TPC program, which is, in my opinion, much more modern and practical than the PPC course. And it includes events for patrol rifles. Another thing that the NRA has had out there for several years and is not well known, but hopefully will be growing, is called the American Rifle Challenge, that ARC competition. And it not only has competition, but it has a training arm to it as well. And it's for using AR platform rifles. Now, the American Rifle Challenge is not strictly a law enforcement thing. It's open to everybody. But it would be great practice and great competition for law enforcement officers to use. The Law Enforcement Division offers range development assistance. They have range experts available across the country. When I ran the range for the Illinois State Police at our academy south of Springfield, Illinois, we had a range safety issue. And I reached out to the NRA to find a local range expert who could come give us some advice. Unfortunately, I was in Illinois. And the Illinois government doesn't like the NRA because the NRA is pro-gun and the Illinois government is anti-gun. So they forced me to hire an engineering firm for over $5,000 to come do what the NRA would have done almost for free. We solved our problem, but the NRA would have been the best resource for us to use. They also have a law enforcement range fund, which can provide 50-50 matching grants for building or improving shooting ranges. This is limited to a $25,000 cap, and it is limited by the amount of funds that are available each year. But if you don't get your grant this year, you can apply again next year. So there is money available to help you start a law enforcement range or to improve what you have. So let me summarize the best benefit for law enforcement officers to join the NRA. You get a $20 a year membership. and that is for both active and retired law enforcement, as well as active duty military personnel. The active duty officers will receive a $35,000 line of duty death benefit that's going to help their family start to recover from their loss. I'm going to put that QR code up here again. You can scan this with your phone, and it really gets you the best deal in town. Now, the Law Enforcement Division also does a Law Enforcement Officer of the Year award, as well as a Law Enforcement Firearms Instructor of the Year award. So go to their webpage, have a look at what the Law Enforcement Division of the NRA can do for you. And I hope you see why it would be worth it to you to become a member. Folks, if you like the videos I put out here, I ask you to subscribe, like, share. For those of you who are law enforcement or military folks, please come join the NRA. We've gone through a number of bad years with some bad reputation of corruption in the organization. That's over. The people responsible are gone. They have, in some cases, been forced to pay back a lot of money. You have a majority of the board of directors now who are reform-minded, and the NRA is going to move forward and look for younger members to get active with us as well. So you're going to see more on social media and things like that. So young officers out there, young firearms instructors out there, you should be a part of the NRA. And I hope you'll join up. Y'all be safe out there.
Okay, we got them both here now. You ready? Bud got one. Ginger got one. Oh, she missed it. She usually gets them, doesn't she, Bud? Okay, girl, last one. You ready? You ready? Yeah! That's all there is till next time.